Now, there's a lot to like about this car. First of all, that's the speedo. Alright, this is what you're looking at, right? Ta-da! It's another car now. Ta-da! See that? Alright? And now you thought, oh, there are 4 styles, right? Oh, there's 4 styles, right? No, actually there are, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 20 styles. See. Just now we are on this color, alright? When they change it to purple, beautiful. Right? And then you have blue. Blue. Red. Wow, sporty. Green. They all look very nice. And another thing is this. You don't really need to Bluetooth pair your phone. You hook up the phone to its USB. You can make phone calls directly from here. I highly appreciate that. It's very nice, alright? So you have lots of other stuffs that are, it's decent, it's really decent. Now, as for the door panels, I really like how the door panels are designed. Even though it doesn't have that thing that I really like, you know, the handlebar where you can slot your palm in. I'll explain that because it has a very wide armrest, alright? And as for this part, it doesn't have a full length door bin, but it is way lengthier than a lot of cars already. And this part, they mold it that way so that, you know, you can put big bottles and all that. Can you hear that? I mean, I think that's enough, right? When your car is moving and all that, it's going to make a lot of noise because it's not padded in whatsoever way. Now, I love cars with this compartment. Just leave it empty, sort of block it up so that we can use this space. Don't open this part up. When you open this part up, we can't put stuff there, right? They're gonna fall on the footwell, right? So I like cars that utilize this space, and this is really nice. This is a very nice sheet of rubber coating where it feels nice, it feels high quality. All right, now this is a surprise. This is a bit of a surprise. Now you have this foldable, retractable, whatever, but it's not rubber coated, it's merely plastic. All right, so what this means is that it might last longer, but it doesn't feel as nice to the touch. All right, somewhat rubbery, but it's not rubber coated, definitely not rubber coated. Okay, and it's big enough, but the thing is this is not, this is like static fix. Okay, so there are moments where you get what I mean, because if they leave it flexible, it will be a super nice compartment. And the fact that they tier it, so this is deeper than this, I think you can see from the camera, so that you know you have the fat and short Red Bull tin, it works. The tall and thin Red Bull tin, it works. The Coca-Cola, it works. You know, and there are aircon vents here. Air conditioning actually comes out from here. It feels cold here, right? There's an aircon vent where you can open and shut. Very good, but I just think that this is unnecessary. All right, here, or before I go there, this slides, which is really nice. All right, and it opens up to a deep cabin with your USB port, your SD card. There are 2 USB ports. Very, very good. All right, this one, very high quality. Look at this single. See, this comes out of nowhere. This piece of metal, yes, it's real metal, feels super duper high quality, and it comes out from nowhere. If I just focus on this part, right, you would have thought this is some new Audi or Jaguar. No, Jaguar is not that high quality. All right, Jaguar, again, let me show you this. You see, it doesn't really move. All right, it's solid, and this is a French. I thought you Brits like to laugh at French, right? Their cars are way solider than most of your cars. A lot of your cars are not that solid, except the ones bought by the Germans. Ha ha ha. So this is the glove box, very sizable glove box. This is one thing that Peugeot should learn from Renault. All right, have decent size glove box, because when you allow people to open up but then it doesn't fit anything, it's useless. You might as well not have it, right, Peugeots? Okay, the seats are comfortable. From front passenger area, you get sunglass holders, very nicely padded. Wow. Deep sponge. Your spectacle will feel very comfortable in there. Anyway, there's a card holder, which is really good, very handy for your condominium touch cards and all that, you know, your touch and go. And you have lights here, very high quality sun visor, and it's big as well, which is good. And anyway, so this is the cabin. Now it's very hard for me to avoid my camera from showing it, huh? You might see Bose in this car, but this is not the Malaysian version, okay? This was brought in pre-market introduction, and this is actually for us motoring journalists, all right, to test drive the car. But actually, because of cost concern, you won't be able to buy a Renault Koleos with the Bose sound system. But let me tell you something, you do not lose anything. Why? Because the current Bose is no longer the same as the previous Bose, you know, where they mean really high quality sound systems. Now any Bose sound system in mass market cars, right, can easily, it's just matchable to the Arkamys sound system that's gonna come with this car, alright? So this car actually comes with a branded sound system. It's called Arkamys, and I'm sure those who are in other brands, is it Peugeot or something, they would have been familiar with this sound system. Okay, Arkamys. Come to the rear compartment. Wow! See, that's what I love. Another 2 USB ports, alright, and a 12-volt charger. This is excellent because to be a proper family car, you have 2 USB ports up front, you have 2 USB ports behind here. That means everyone's devices on a long journey gets taken care of, and this is very good. Alright, this could be a deal breaker for a lot of people, seriously. Alright, now as we come to the rear, as you can tell just now, that was my driving position, right? And this is how freaking spacious it is behind here. Ta-da! Very spacious, and I love it. It's way more spacious than the CX-5 and maybe the CR-V as well. I couldn't be sure with that. A very good headroom, very good legroom and knee room. And the legroom and knee room, right, is not the cheating type. What I mean by cheating, certain cars, right, they give you really short rear thigh support, so that it gives you the sensation that you have a lot more knee room. But this is not. This is almost, look at it. You can see my full thigh being supported by this seat. That means this is a full size seat. Alright? Because I am not a small guy, I am a gorilla. I'm 97 kilo, 5'11". Alright, so a very wide armrest. Do you notice that? Yeah, I'm not sure if you can see it because GoPro is shit. Alright? It's very wide, it's wider than most, which means the center seat might just be the most comfortable in the business. Alright? Because it's very wide. The center seat, it still bulges up, which doesn't make sense, you know. They shouldn't make the center seat bulge up. Alright, so yeah, you can definitely sit 3 adults at the back here with absolute comfort. And one thing I really want to mention is this. This is amazing. See, just now I switched the screen to green color, right? And if you notice here, this is an aluminium stripe that sort of surrounds this would look alike gloss plastic something, alright? So this is, see, this is a nice satin chrome aluminium, right? But actually, what is amazing is they were able to make the ambient lights shine through the aluminium. I'm not joking. Not even Mercedes or Audi has pulled this off. They have separate ambient lighting. But what Renault has done here is that in daytime it looks like a normal aluminium piece, but at night the light actually shines through the aluminium. Wow. And from the rear, I think you'll be able to see a little bit of that. Can you see that? The green color? That's the ambient light of the car. It's hidden within the aluminium. And that's quite amazing to me because I like that they put the effort into doing that. Just like the front seats, you have a very broad armrest at the back, so it's very comfortable. Okay, let's take a look at the boot. Okay, for a moment I thought it has power tailgate because it's quite heavy. Alright, very big boot. Alright, let me show you here, but it's not very deep. Okay, so oh, you have a full size underneath. There's a full size spare wheel underneath. So they have the tonneau cover here. Let's see if the tonneau cover will be able to store underneath here. Nope. See, if they have a cutaway here, and if they have a cutaway here as well, and with the sponge and all that along this part, you'll be able to put the tonneau cover, but now you couldn't. But I believe this is wide enough for the tonneau cover to go in, so it's alright. Not the most spacious boot, nowhere matching the CR-V. Cannot match, and in fact no one can match the CR-V. And the opening of the boot, alright, from the right height of the car is very tall. So what that means is that when you are loading your luggage, you have to like really move them in. And in terms of styling, look at the styling of the car. If you don't notice that, this part is, this to me is not very smart. Alright, look at this part. See, most of the time when you open the boot at the back, right, is this part that is most protruding. This is the part where you can handle weight, where you can sit on it and then you can enjoy the scenery, the picnic and all that. This is where you can sit on. But when they style the car, the bumper became the part that is protruding. Right? Now, I do not believe for a moment that this bumper, polycarbonate or whatever fiberglass or whatever PU material, will be handle anybody's weight. So what this means is that you are waiting for someone to sit on the bumper to... I don't think the bumper can handle much weight. I could be wrong. It might be designed to handle the weight of a person, but I dare not try, because most of the time the bumper clips and all that won't be able to handle a gorilla like me, 97 kg. If I didn't notice, right, I go and sit here, I might ruin somebody's car. Alright, we know for a fact this part is part of the body structure, so you'll be able to handle a lot of weight. See, I dare to push here to press the entire car down, but I dare not do it. I dare not do it with the bumper. And I think that's a design flaw. So if you're buying a Koleos, do ask the salesman about this. And if you have already bought it, depending on what the salesman answers you, I warn you to not sit here. You might break it. Alright? But that's no reason to not buy this car, because it is very, very good looking. Okay, the CX-5 is good looking, right? This is handsome, right? But this looks 10 years ahead from the current CX-5. It's very modern and it has sophistication. Look at the current CX-5. It doesn't look like an expensive car. You look at the X-Trail, it doesn't look like an expensive car. This bugger, if I remove the badge, you would have thought it's an Audi or whatever, it looks expensive. There are a lot of design details that makes this car look larger than it is. If you look at the brochure, right, it looks like a full-size SUV. And even in real life, it looks large because it's based on the X-Trail, and the X-Trail is actually slightly larger than the other guys. And it's a very, very, very good looking car. There are a lot of little design details that makes this car look like a premium SUV. It looks... In fact, I think it looks more premium than the current Q5. Isn't it? Look at this. This is the full LED headlamp. Alright? And you have LED bits here down into the bumper, And this bit, this daytime running lights actually runs all the way through this chrome strip and down here. This is very bad lah. If they might as well not put this here, because it looks really cheap, right? If you want to put a fake grille here, if you want to put something there, right, at least really make it something. It just ruins the really beautiful design up front by putting that fake grille there, that plastic. They could have, it could have just been a black plastic, and then some Koleos or something written there. I don't know, but this part looks LED pure vision. So it has full LED lighting, which is a very premium feature in this segment. I don't think any mid-size SUV has full LED lamps. This one does. And the fog lights, right? The fog lights actually correspond with the steering. So when you turn the steering, the fog lights will turn following the direction. Now, even though it has LED lighting, it doesn't, because of pricing issue, now it's 171,000, right? Imagine if they add in all the safety features, adaptive headlights and all that, right? It's going to be super expensive. So the LED lights are just LED lights. They don't really swivel, but you have the spotlights to help. So that is decent in itself. In terms of safety features, it has a blind spot warning. And I mean, this car, because of taxes and because they need to be mindful of pricing, because consumers, if they end up too expensive, no one can afford. What's the point, right? But I think it's very well spec'd in terms of how the car is, and it's very high quality, this roof rail, right? But the whole car looks really good actually. You have the nice features. You have navigation. You have the navigation is quite easy to use. You'll be able to use it daily actually. And then it has full LED headlamps, and it doesn't look cheap at all. Alright, it's a good looking car, very good looking car. And you need to know that it's a Nissan underneath. That means this car is freaking reliable. In fact, Renaults are reliable. You can check on it. Renaults are very reliable. They seldom have breakdown issues or whatever. Yep, Renaults are that good. You see, I don't even know what tires are this. Nexon N Price. It must be some cheap tires because I'm losing traction everywhere that I'm driving. I don't think it's an expensive tire because I just keep losing traction. Alright, so that's the exterior, that's the interior, and it's a very good effort from Renault. It's a very good effort from Renault. Alright, and now I know why this car doesn't come with 7-seaters, because if it has 7-seaters, the X-Trail won't sell. So yeah, it's nice. The car's body, chassis and suspension components and all that, it is fine. Okay, it's not particularly crazy. I mean, just now that turn, you can hear the tires squealing and all that, but I have to check the tires. Sometimes tires makes a big difference in how a car handles. Alright, so I haven't checked it. I'll make it a habit next time. Yeah. So the car is willing. It's not a car whereby you are afraid to throw it into a corner. It's definitely not that. It is no CX-5 either, but it's alright. It holds itself, and I know the fact that because of differentiation and all that, you see, when you buy the Nissan X-Trail, it's a 7-seater and it has 4-wheel drive variant, right? But this one is a 5-seater with only front-wheel drive. So when you are not doing anything particular whereby you need the 4-wheel drive, you will feel that this car is lighter. It's more sprightly the way it drives, because when you detach the front axle and the rear axle, and most of the time they feel better to drive. They feel lighter, and that's what this car gave me in terms of feeling. In terms of sound insulation, I find this car quite good as well. I mean, the X-Trail is not bad at all, very good in fact. So there are no issues with sound insulation, wind noise and all that. But this is not a premium car either, where you have excessive amounts of sound deadening material. I'm not sure if you're able to hear it, but You can hear the echo, right? So it's obvious after the ceiling lining, there's nothing much in between the roof. There's a thin padding of sponge and all that. But that's not an issue at all, because this is a 170,000 mid-size SUV. Alright, for the Americans, this is considered compact size, but this is mid-size for us Asians. So this car competes with the X-Trail, it competes with the CR-V, the CX-5, and why is this Honda going so slow? He is going at what speed? 25? Okay, 30 now. What an idiot. Anyway. Yeah, so this car sits within that segment, and it's obvious the king of that segment is the CR-V and the X-Trail, and then in more urban areas is the CX-5. And this is sort of like the left field choice, you know, because it comes from Renault, largely a brand that only KL and Selangor people dare to buy. Yeah, Malaysians are weird, I tell you. Always the central area people are more daring in terms of venturing into other brands. But I really like how it looks. I mean, you would have seen it just now, right? And in terms of how it drives, it doesn't drive absolutely like how a Renault would do. Even its interior, I mean, you have the Renault stuff going on, but it's not exactly as the usual cabin quality of Renaults, alright? But in terms of how the car drives, it is different enough from an X-Trail. It is in certain ways well composed enough like a Renault, but still there is a little bit, I mean, okay, that's an X-Trail. Hello X-Trail, Kawan. I think it rides slightly better, it handles slightly better, but it is still nowhere near to the usual Renault standards in terms of how the car drives. If you don't know anything, I mean, French cars, all of them handle really well. Yeah. And I think French cars are more well built than British cars. I'm serious. So it's just the British, they command the language that everybody understands, right? So it's the same case whereby if you are the louder guy who tell everybody that he's a terrorist, so the guy is a terrorist, right? So the Brits are always out there with their British rags and laughing at the French and all that, but actually I think French built better cars than British. Yeah. And both are definitely better than the Italians. Anyway, yeah, that's how I felt with the car. I mean, it's decent in handling, its soundproofing is alright, it sort of drives slightly better than the X-Trail, handles slightly better. I felt so, but then the tires lose grip really early, and of course, given the fact that this is a front-wheel drive, and wait, yeah, it's a front-wheel drive car, so I experienced a few instances whereby the car just ran out of grip. Stupid Honda Civic, kill him. Oh, this kind of idiot, right? It's like they keep themselves like 30 cars away from everybody else and just mind their own business, you know, in their own world. Anyway, yeah. Oh, that's a Fluence. Now, if you ask your friends who has bought a Renault in recent years, the past 2 years or 3, you can really ask them about their after sales service. Now, I was surprised as well when I was told about this by a Renault owner who has 2 Renaults. Apparently, given their size, they have exceptional after sales service. Believe it or not, it's a French brand in Malaysia with very little presence. I think they rank as low as any chart can display on your laptop in terms of sales figures in Malaysia. But they carry the Clio, they carry the Capture, they carry the Koleos, of course the legendary Renault Megane, which spurred its revival in Malaysia, And what else? Yeah. And apparently, Fluence, the sedan. That's what I heard from a few Renault owners. They have absolutely amazing personal touch with their customers, which I think every small brand should be doing that, because you give that sort of different appeal to people buying your car. You know, it's like buying from a friend. You call them, they call you, and of course this is only possible when your brand isn't that big. But I think what matters is the spirit of these companies, you know, the kind of mantra, the kind of company motto that will forever be ingrained in the company, right? And anyone who joins the company might behave like that after that. So kudos to Renault or Renault for maintaining this part, because that's very important for any Renaults to really have a sizable, meaningful size in Malaysia. The brakes of this car is exceptional. Let me show you one more time. Holy moly, the brakes are really, really good. Wait, huh? Okay, let's give it a bit of acceleration. 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, and storm the brakes. Brilliant brakes! Okay, what happened just now? The first time as I tried it, as I did a very heavy braking on the car, going at 130, the whole car is very, very stable. You know, a lot of cars, right, when you did a heavy braking while you're in the midst of accelerating, right, you did a super heavy braking, the car will sort of unbalance itself. Most cars are like that, and it's even more expectable if it is in an SUV. But the first round when I did that, the whole car was so stable. I just see the speed just coming down, but I don't feel anything. The car is freaking stable. So the second run, what I decided to do, the one that you are watching just now, I sort of loosely touching the steering wheel just to be sure. And you know what? The steering wheel did not even... It's like the steering wheel is like totally cool. Oh, braking? Fine, I'm fine with it. And the car is just so stable, and it just stopped. And then the hazard lights come on. Very good job. Exceptional. This is exceptional. For an SUV to behave like that at high speeds, that means you are in high speed and then heavy braking, and this car is like, no problem. It's very good. Very, 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 very good. Good. Now, this car has a CVT, right? Continuously variable transmission. So which means by right, if you're able to listen to what sounded just now, you can hear those are actually simulated gear shifts, alright? Because by right, this car is a CVT and it should just rev to the cows come home. But the constant revving makes people who aren't used to CVTs will feel annoying. So what they did is they have a virtual upshift that's happening. Alright, again, let's try this again. 4005 RPM, 5005 virtual upshift, 5005 virtual upshift, 5005 virtual upshift. Yep. So the transmission just sounds differently when it does so. And then the speed continues to climb, but there are no any sensation of gears being shifted. You can't feel it, but you sort of hear that the transmission, that in certain ways helps me from feeling annoyed by any form of CVT that will just continue. Yeah. Why I make a U-turn because I saw a Bentley Continental GT Cabriolet, which I quite adore. And I take back my statement of Brits can't build decent cars. They do, but only when it's expensive enough for their pride and their, you know, their proud self to do it properly for you, right? If you ask a Brit, the almighty descendants of the empire where sun never sets, to build you a cheap car, they likely won't pay much attention to it. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. It's a pity you all can't see the car. See. Can you all see it? Beautiful. Nice. Yeah. I'm a happy man. I saw it. Bentley Continental GT Cabriolet. Last thing, if you're a Lamborghini owner, don't you think it sucks that your key looks exactly the same like the one from Audi? Right? Still that same fob, you know. And look at what Renault has done. Look at that. Look at it. This is the key to the Koleos. And Renault owners will be familiar that Renault seems to favor the kind of card type, right? In the Megane, you have the card that fits into your wallet, which is brilliant. And this one is a bit more elegant, but not as thin. But I really like how it is. Why? Because when you have this in your pocket, I mean, for women it's the same, right? You all put everything in your handbag and then you get snatched and then you lost everything, right? So for men, we put our keys in our wallets, in our pockets, and it matters whether it bulges or not, because it's very comfortable to have this key in our pocket. You don't feel anything, and it feels really good, and it looks cool. Yup. Yup, that's it.